What if I were to tell you that a team once won a series-winning match in the biggest arena of all, State of Origin, with 12 men left standing? The 1989 Maroons in Game 2 lost 5 of their key players to devastating injuries, leaving them with not only no reserves left, but a player short for the final stages of a brutal match in Sydney. Lost were Meninga, Vaughton, Langer, Test winger Michael Hancock, and ace forward Bob Linder, all to various fractures and dislocations.
Of all the Origin matches I've been associated with, it was the greatest victory that we've ever had.
I've always regarded that as Queensland's most famous victory, because when we walked off, I stopped the players. I said, just stop. I said, have a look at this, have a look around. And the New South Wales public gave us a standing ovation. And I said, stop and have a look at it. I said, because you'll never ever get it again. Doesn't matter where we go. You will never ever see a New South Wales crowd give you a standing ovation.
Leading up to it, I thought I'd handle State of Origin really well, but when I actually ran out into the paddock, I thought, gee, what am I doing here? I looked across, there was Meninga, there was Miles, there was Wally Lewis, and the atmosphere at Lang Park was enormous.
The heroics of Game 2 were set by the record-setting Game 1, played just 3 weeks earlier.
Wally Lewis, the man they call King here. Big Gene Miles, Gary Belcher, little Alan Langer, the night a hero, 20,000 of his faces around the ground. Hard as you can quickly and try and get him off the ball. Belcher gets a nice ball out for Lewis, and Lewis gets in the clear too, and he turns it back inside. Oh, look at this, is Hancock now. He makes a straight. He's got plenty of pace. Hancock has the corrals him up. He gets out of that. He's still going, and now he goes down. Oh, good run from Hancock. Queensland on the attack. Meninga, he gets it out to Langer. Langer goes forward, and there's a penalty gone to Queensland. And he takes a quick tap, Langer. Well, New South Wales have been caught napping. Goes out wide and tries to reach up. They do so with Alabac, and no now. He gets a face off, and Queensland has gone in for the first of the try. Alabac has no score. Oh, he loves State of Origin. Here's Lewis. Lewis looking to unload. He does. He gets it to Stones. Stones has got the carry. Carry's got the Hancock. And let me tell you, they've gone in again. Oh, no, they pitch the blue gelato. Out to Walters again. Walters is not on the right side, and he's got support coming up too. Can he get it away? Yes, he can. Can they make it here? Mel Meninga bending off. Oh, well, that's Mel Meninga just been ball out about 8 metres down. Queensland have just made a big run through Kellen Walters. He got out to Meninga. Now Lewis with a big floater. They're on the attack. They're like kamikazes, these Queenslanders tonight, let me tell you. Well, Gene Miles. Can't believe it. That's the 10-metre line. It's just attack, attack, attack. Comes back to Walters. He made the break. He gets it on to Langer. Langer with a chip kick. He's falling Langer. He'll get there. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. Good play from Queensland. Now they're in the 22 with Lewis. Lewis flicks one back out for Belcher. He flicks it back to Lewis again. He's handled twice. Lewis winds up. They rev him up. He's got it away. The handball pass to him again. Oh, they've done it again this time. He goes in. Lewis handled twice. Miles got the basketball pass up. They're doing the high five. They're doing the boogie because they've gone in again.
4 tries to nil, 22 to nil. And it's gone away now for Linder coming across the 22, crabbing across. But now he straightens. Linder goes for the line, gets a pass away, and big Mel Meninga goes in for the double. What will he do here? He simply passes for Meninga, who brushes away Hasler, then gets a one-handed pass out. There was a touch there. The referee didn't see it. Miles is heading for the corner. Bobby Linda's going in. He gets among the spoils. It's all over. Queensland absolutely annihilating New South Wales in the opening State of Origin match for 1989 by 36 points to 6.
Coaches Jack Gibson been given such a public hiding. Tonight he's reliving the embarrassment, viewing tapes of the game and deciding which players, if any, will keep their place.
Gibson wasn't on the flight back from Brisbane this afternoon, and you can bet some of these faces never ride with him again. While some are safe, it's the inexperienced players who are most likely to be dropped for next month's second match. And all of them feel that given another chance, they'd be better prepared.
Yeah, to put it plainly, we never played well, so everyone just played bad. It was awesome. The crowd, you don't hear a thing on the field, you don't hear the referee blow the whistle, or you didn't hear the siren, you don't hear your mates talking to you. It's a different game altogether.
Queensland's win was the most devastating in the history of State of Origin. The biggest points loss the Blues have suffered in half a century. Someone will have to pay.
Well, there's never been a team beat by 30 in any competition. The changes weren't made the following week.
If lack of cohesion was New South Wales' weakness, Queensland's strength was mateship welded over years in the State of Origin furnace.
Your mates back you up and you've got to back them up and just keep plowing ahead. I mean, it's the same as last year. I mean, we were given jobs to do. You go out and do them, and you've got to keep doing them, with a high degree of intensity.
Bella is a team man, but the critics, his teammates and his captain agree that last night he was the outstanding individual.
Eddie Munster, Martin Bella, he just got us going forward all night, and you have a look at the expression on the bloke's face. He wouldn't be the best looking bloke to run into coming at you, but like, geez, he gets you going forward all the time, and we wouldn't swap him for anybody in the country.
Mate, you never feel closer than when you're near death, and when Wally's driving, you're all close to death, so you become some pretty good mates.
Expecting bad boy prop Peter Kelly to ignite some sparks among the Queensland forwards in round 2 of the State of Origin. After a week with Jack Gibson, though, Kelly claims he won't be starting anything with his fists. But I wouldn't want to be the first bloke to run into him.
It was Gibson's last training session, his final chance to fine-tune the Blues, Mark II.
We've improved a lot on our last performance. In team situation, we've been able to probably do a few more drills, and matter of fact, they know each other's Christian names now.
The name everyone knows best in this lead-up is Peter Kelly's. As Queensland spent the afternoon watching Hearns and Leonard hit it out, many felt they could have been watching an Origin preview.
I'm not really going out there to make a mug of myself or anyone else. I'm just going out there to play my normal game, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night. What
Kelly will do, he says, is reinforce the front line.
They've put me in here to tighten it up a bit around the rucks, so that's my job, and that's what I'll be looking to do tomorrow night.
Queensland also wound up their preparation today. Unlike New South Wales, a repeat performance would do just nicely. Arthur Beetson was trying to play down his advantage, but he has reason to feel content.
I think what you've got to look at, that we've got some champion players, and there's no substitute for them.
The day dawned bright blue for the Blues as they took in some rare Sydney sunshine this morning. Whether it's as bright tonight remains to be seen.
I think we'll win the football game.
They'll have to do it without the hard man selectors ignored, Australian prop and Seven commentator Steve Roach.
It's not a game where you go out and try and, play skillfully or anything. It's just to, roll your sleeves up, put your armour on, and blood and guts for sure.
And in the hatred stakes, Roy Masters believes the Maroons have the edge.
They do tend to have this sort of intrinsic, almost endemic hatred. Of course, it's a reflection of their lesser intelligence, but of course they're entitled to do that. They have more sun, we have more brains.
Tempers have boiled over before. Who'll forget Lang Park last year? But this year, the interstate rivalry is more intense than ever.
Up the King Wally! New South Wales!
New South Wales will need all the help they can get tonight. But anything that goes beyond good-natured barracking will be monitored by 39 cameras around the SFS. I guess the warning to fans is concentrate on helping the Blues get out of jail. Mark Chester, 7 Nightly News.
Following their embarrassment in Game 1, the Blues were determined not to be pushed around in front of their record home crowd in Sydney.
Give them the biggest state of origin crowd ever in this city. For what is already a sellout, and it could be a decider. The crowd roars their approval as the Blues take the field. Let's have a look at their team after they've come down the tunnel. Big night for Greg Alexander. Alexander the Great, they used to call him in schoolboy days. And now Wally Lewis takes the Maroons down the tunnel.
Out they come, the State of Origin champions, there's no doubt about that. Wally Lewis, have a lesson to the crowd, booing Wally. Blue faces, blue jumpers, and it's the maroon jumpers that they wear so proudly that have really dominated this series since 1980. They've won it in 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 87, 88.
Here's the New South Wales team coming up. Gary Jack at fullback, Ferguson on one wing, Ettinghausen, Daly the centres, Johns on the other flank, Mortimer and Alexander the Penrith halves, Clyde at lock, Maguire and Miller second row, Kelly Dunn front row, Fennick as the hooker, and the coach is Jack Gibson.
Queensland side, Belcher, McIndoe, Curry. Mal Meninga had such a superb game at Lang Park. Michael Hancock, Wally Lewis, the captain, Alan Langer, Bob Linda, Miles, Thornton, Vacco, Wallace and Bella. Of course, the coaches, Arthur Beattie.
Canberra club about to get us going. He didn't let me down. 45 metres. A bad mistake by Bobby Linda. In fact, the same player, I do believe, made a similar mistake in the early minutes of the match at Lang Park. So Queensland now, with the ball about 10 metres, 12 metres out from their own line, losing the ball, and it's going to be a scrum. It'll be a New South Wales feed, New South Wales loose head, and a golden opportunity in the first 60 seconds. Queensland line, and plenty of venom in those tackles, as Mario Fennick will testify. He faked the fall. It comes from Alexander and goes away for the front row forward, Peter Kelly in the headgear, as is Bruce Maguire, the Balmain second rower. Gavin Miller across the ground. Clyde was taken heavily by Meninga. That was a bone crusher. That's the last, and up in the air goes the kick from Miller. But it's going, it landed in the end goal. And Belcher forces the ball. Lewis is complaining. He's pointing over at the touch judge. Lewis is pointing frantically at the touch judge. But the referee has ruled a line dropout.
Despite being under pressure early, the Maroons' class shone through.
Back to Alexander. The grubber kick ahead. Fielded nicely by Hancock. And he seemed to get some obstruction in goal. And he's making a long run. 45 metres later, he's grounded by Gary Jack, but he did seem to get obstruction in the end goal.
Could have possibly been a little obstruction there, but he's a great stepper. That was a tremendous right foot step to get him clear.
And just 3 tackles later, Queensland struck first.
Played by Bacco, it's gone to Lang, and now Lewis. A long ball out for Bobby Linda. Linda with a 22. Infield for Linda. Outfield for Belcher. Belcher again. It's a try for Queensland. Scored by the 19-year-old Michael Hancock. Well, there can be no argument. They are a champion football side, 28 years of age. Promotions and marketing is his profession for the Raiders and for Woodgers, their sponsors. There's the kick, looked okay, hasn't got the length. Oh, Telemann has, it's a great kick. A superb kick by Meninga. Queensland 6, New South Wales 0. Out right in front of his own uprights. Head away now. Gerard Walters to Meninga. The big man took them on strongly. That's Paul Thornton floating it out to Lewis. They've got the numbers on the right. Belcher runs into a gap. Belcher in between Daly and Kelly. He's over the halfway mark. He kicks ahead. McIndoe's in a race for the ball with Ferguson and Alexander. Alexander it is who touches down.
Was at Lang Park early in this game. Langer again, a little step inside. Langer slips a clever ball away to Kerrod Ballers. Out for Lewis. Lewis still going. Standing in the tackle. Now they come, and he's still going. Wally Lewis. Oh, to Wallace, on to Langer, they're in almost the danger zone now, the kick comes across, waiting for the bounce, but bounces into touch. Well, Warren Ryan, you've only got to look at Lewis with the ball, he is so strong.
Yeah, but it was a good effort too by Langer. Langer, for all money, was tackled and he stopped and got a little pass back and then away it went to Wally. That's the greatness of Brisbane. They keep, or Queensland, they keep this ball alive. Yeah, but the real action's out wide. This Queensland side, they can go one way and then hit back.
Here's Langer again, a little chip over the top. He's so elusive. Tries all the time to vary the play. He's so elusive, Warren.
Very much so. I was just about to say that Queensland can appear to be going one side of the field. They'll keep it alive there and they'll quickly transfer it to the other side of the field.
Walters, deep they are now. Over for Lewis. Little short pass for Miles and a beautiful ball for Curry. Curry winds up, but the referee says we'll bring it back. Lightly forward by G. Miles does so cleverly, does he? A little basketball pass over the top. We see it week after week.
I believe he was a pretty good passer.
The Blues would begin to seize the momentum with their physical play.
Coming at us like they did in the Lang Park game.
These days, internationally, universally, I should say. Oh, big hit! Real big hit on Miles. Receiver throws the dummy to the outside, gets a loose ball away for Walters to scoop out to Miles. Miles met by Alexander. Good tackle. Good tackle by the little number 7.
Star halfback Alan Langer would go down with the series-ending broken leg.
Langer's coming off. Away to Miles, it's gone to Vaughton now as we stay with the action because Queensland are piling it on. Although I get the impression New South Wales are now tackling as though their careers depend on it. Alexander comes up with the loose ball off the grubber kick from Miles.
But it's all a byproduct of the quality of the tackling, Ray. The intensity in the defence has picked up. The crowd are getting behind it, and I think we can swing this around if it keeps up.
Next down for Queensland was future immortal Mal Meninga from an illegal headshot from Penrith hard man Peter Kelly.
A shade further out than that. 6 points to 0 in favour of Queensland. A try in the early seconds, scored by Hancock after Lewis, Linda and Langer, together with Belcher, all played their parts. Let's go to Michael Cleary and see if he can bring us up to date on what's happened here with Meninga.
We haven't got an answer on Meninga. We know that Alan Langer's gone to hospital for precautionary x-ray.
Bang, down he goes, and there's Mal Meninga with the ice pack on the cheek, and you can see the eye. There it is. Suspected fractured cheekbone. Really closed eye there.
Queensland prop Martin Bella would seek some natural justice, but a penalty would only contribute to the Blues' momentum.
The Blues with the ball now, and they're hungry to get back into this Queensland territory. They're having a lot of trouble at the moment. This Queensland defence is hard and straight, but this time the referee pulling up play again. There's a bit being said, Warren.
One of the Queenslanders just smacked Maguire.
Pretty obvious who it is. We might see that again. Here it is. It's done with the ball, and there's the Bella, the little short one to Maguire in the back for Fennick. Onto Alexander, puts a high ball up, and there's plenty of chasers coming through. Underneath it is...
For Queensland, panic stations for the Maroons.
The third Queensland casualty was Michael Hancock with a busted collarbone.
On Walters, Hancock is injured. It's an arm, it's probably the upper forearm. He's got feeling in the fingers, as you saw.
Mike Cleary on the sideline.
Plenty of action as far as injuries. Hancock looks like she's coming off, and we're going to find that Cook will go on. And they tell me that Meninga's going to go away for an x-ray, a possible cheekbone fracture.
There's Gary Coyne getting ready to come on, number 17. This is done, though. Straight up the centre, straight up and hard, the Blues at the moment. 6 apiece. This big crowd shaking up. Through this time, Alexander goes straight up the field, but no support there. The Blues won't win him, but Alexander with a great break.
Bit hard to get with him. He ran from dummy half. Pretty quick.
Gee, wasn't a quick one.
They have some new motorbikes out there.
Well, having a big game, Greg Alexander. Hancock in a little bit of pain by the look of it, so the Queenslanders a bit battered and bruised at the moment.
Yeah, well, I thought Alexander, I said earlier, when the defence tires a little, Alexander will come into his own. We just saw the danger that he presents to Queensland, and I think they've seen it too.
Back for Finney. Again he sprints from dummy half. Oh, it's back up! Oh, yes, he's got to cover Maguire. Maguire strikes down centre field, but they take it. Up he goes. Unloads, it's going loose. Almost out of time as Belcher takes the ball right on the halfway line. Well, a beautiful break from Mario Finney. He had Chris Maguire beside him, and the ball went loose.
And Darryl, I can sense the Queensland forwards tiring. We're making inroads right at the play the ball. And I think Jack will see it, and I think you'll see our forwards hammer them even harder in this second half.
The Queenslanders coming out. We've been told that Trevor Gillmeister will take the field in place of Paul Wharton, who apparently suffered an arm injury or an elbow injury in that first half of play. Just repeating, we lost Alan Langer and Mel Meninga during the first 40 minutes. But Michael Hancock is still on the field for the Queenslanders. There was some thought that he might have to be replaced at half-time, but it was Paul Wharton replaced by Trevor Gillmeister.
Despite the massive injury toll, the Queenslanders managed to put together a 60-metre special.
Going into Ashley for New Zealand and of course the Papua New Guinea. Away now from Walters to Lewis. Lewis decides to go himself. Stands in the second tackle. Gets it away to Hagan on to Belcher. Belcher gets it on to McIndoe. McIndoe to Shearer. Shearer to Hagan. Hagan to Walters. Walters goes to the 22. He's going to score. It's a maroon side. Yes. Hold on. Aaron Walters scores after Bobby Lewis inspired the try. Took it ahead. Beat one. Stood in another. And then it went through several sets of hands. And that man, number 15, Michael Hagan, I'm sure he handled twice in the play.
Then with the injury toll mounting, one of the most iconic moments in State of Origin history.
Up the other end of the field. That's why we're where we are.
That's Gary Coyne on. Hancock is off. Coyne is on in 17. We'll look at the reshuffled side for you. That's Coyne, you can see there now in the tackle, the headband on in number 17.
Linda's got big troubles too, Darryl. Bad ankle.
Yeah, there's been a lot of injuries in this game. It's been played at an amazing pace, but here's Wally Lewis with the stolen ball now. Lewis makes his way upfield. He's got some pace. Lewis, can he go all the way? Still going, he does wrong. Wally Lewis has gone in. Look at this. Wow. We've said it before. This fellow is so incredibly strong. He doesn't look like he has the pace, but boy, oh boy, he just powered his way through the line there.
And there's a couple of Queenslanders walking wounded. Linda's got an ankle problem. Curry's not all that well. John's across the front.
After all the effort the Blues had put in, they would ensure this game would go down to the wire.
Finnick, only 2 metres away from the Queensland line. Can New South Wales get back into the game? Alexander's about 3 blades of grass out from the line. That's how close he is. Miller, dummy half, away to Hasler. Hasler trying to get the ball away but can't. Pulled down by Hagan and Linda. Good defence. Pennick again. The ball back for Alexander. Now to Cartwright. Cartwright stands. He picks up Chris Johns. Johnson scored. And New South Wales are back in the ball game. 16 points to 10 in favour of the Maroons. It's a slight angle. Ball in the upright position. He's got it. Got away a little bit. But it's 2 more points to New South Wales. Queensland 16. New South Wales 12. Call for a stretcher for Bob Linda. It's a look of dismay on the face of Brad Clyde. There's the official time. 4 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. 4 minutes and 18 seconds for Queensland to wrap up the State of Origin 2-0.
Then, the final test for Queensland. With over 4 minutes left, they would lose test lock Bob Lindner, who had courageously played for most of the game with a broken leg, finally succumbing, leaving the Maroons with no reserves and only 12 players.
the injuries that Queensland suffered in the first half. Langer was first to go, Meninga then went, and then of course they've had player after player going to the ground and obviously not very well. This man down at the moment, Linda, is one of them. Paul Vorton was lost at half-time. And if you take Meninga, Langer and Vorton out of any team, they're bound to suffer. Hancock, of course, was also replaced during the second half, and he was having a strong game. Linda taken off on the stretcher. Queensland have used up all their replacements, so the Maroons are going to come down the home stretch with 12 men. Coyne is down. The news is that Bob Linda has a broken tibia, a suspected broken tibia for Bob Linda. And of course already they've got very grave doubts on Alan Langer and Mal Meninga. So it's been, if they win the match, and it seems they're going to, a very costly victory.
Then with seconds left, fittingly it would be Captain Wally Lewis who would have the final touch in the bravest victory of all.
Sam Bacco plays the ball. Has gone away to Wally Lewis. Lewis taken over the touchline. The siren sounds in the background. Referee Manson says thank you very much, there'll be no more. Queensland winning the second State of Origin 16 points to 12, having won the first State of Origin 36 to 6. And the big scoreboard here at the Sydney Football Stadium says, congratulations Queensland, you're a great football side. And that's the show of sportsmanship that I think, well, sport generally requires. But under the current climate that we've had in rugby league in the last 7 days, that's the only thing you can say. You are a very, very good football side, Queensland. Wally Lewis tonight played his 25th State of Origin match. Only 26 has been played, and they're looking as though they're going to hold Wally Lewis aloft as Queensland take the 1989 series of State of Origin matches.
When the guys first joined together in the hotel camp, they really bond as one team unit. It's a family-type atmosphere. Everybody wants to play for Queensland. It's not so much play for themselves, play for their state, and play for their own honour. It's play for Queensland. And I think a lot of the success for Queensland is owed to games played 15 and 20 years ago, where Queensland were belted year in and year out, and were embarrassed by New South Wales. Suddenly we had the chance to get out there and know that we could beat New South Wales. And Fatty Vorton used to epitomise it more than any other player when we were playing for Queensland. When we were doing it tough, players would look to each other and say, hey, the hell, there's still 10 minutes to go here. We've got no petrol left in the tank. What are we going to do? New South Wales are starting to run over the top of us. You turn and look to the rest of the teammates alongside you and say, come on, guys, we've got to bond together. And Fatty had always come up with the cry, Queenslander. It's great to be a Queenslander. And suddenly, out of all the tired-looking faces, a little bit of energy would spring. And guys would get a little bit more excited and say, Queenslander, Queenslander. It would become infectious. And one would go on to another, and suddenly you had 13 players screaming Queenslander, with Gary Belcher at the back, and he was just like the conductor of the orchestra, just screaming it out time after time after time. And this would go on for probably 8 or 10 minutes. And when guys really stuck together that closely, that shows you just how much team spirit can lift a team's performance.
Once again, you can count on a Queenslander to stand his ground, never let you down. You can count on a Queenslander. You can count on a Queenslander. Tell me what you want. He's taken them on. He's beaten them, and he's scored. And that could be the end of the ball game. Queensland lead 16 points to 6.
The try I managed to score in that particular game holds a very special moment in my life for me. It was something that I felt pretty good about, and I certainly celebrated after the try in no uncertain terms. But to me, that try was brought about by an example of discipline and guts and courage by another bloke
that received very, very little credit for his involvement in that try. Now, at that stage, New South Wales had the ball. They brought a ruck out from their own line. They were probably about 22 metres out from their line, and Trevor Gilmeister ran in at about 120 kilometres an hour and hit one of the New South Wales forwards with one of the hardest tackles I've ever experienced in State of Origin football. The ball came loose, Michael Hagan picked it up and just shot it out to me. Under those sort of circumstances, that's the best idea. If there's nothing on in that particular area of the field where you're standing, get the ball out a little bit wider. Perhaps there's an opportunity out there. The ball came my way, and to be very honest, I don't know why I decided to run and take that angle. Maybe there was a little bit of a gap there. Thinking back on it, I can notice that I've had a look up and spied a little bit of a decided to run. In times like that, though, it's just up to your own determination and your own judgment whether you're going to make it, and I decided that I was going to have a go. I got into the clear, and there was one guy to beat, which was Gary Jack, and Gary, of course, is one of the finest fullbacks Australia's ever produced. He had the disadvantage, though, of playing after his arm was broken a few months earlier. I decided that he was the guy I was going to take on because I knew just how much inconvenience a broken arm can cause.
What can you say about Wally Lewis? Anytime some sort of magic needs to be done, whether it's pulling rabbits out of the hat or just shrugging off tacklers or showing some pace, Wally Lewis does it at the right time. He was dead set going to be tackled there, but nope, New South Wales, no answer.